friend today so I can get pizza and tacos and burgers.
Good afternoon, everyone. All right. Looks like some of you guys are taking your assembly skip today, huh? It's getting ready for Thanksgiving. But it's good to have you guys here. We're going to go ahead and get started. Sorry for my voice. I've been under the weather for the last couple of days. So anyway, we've got some announcements to make. And I think if you just watch the screens, we'll get started.
Hey Southwestern, I know that you guys have questions, and it is my responsibility that your questions are answered because your opinion matters. So that's why this year we want to bring change to our university for the better. That's why Nelson Mandela says, you by yourself or me by myself can do nothing. But if we work together, we can do a lot.
Hey Southwestern, I've been working with your essay office and we're going to respond today to a couple of the questions that you asked at our last Q&A that we didn't have time to get to. One of the questions was, what do we think about adding some safety, self-defense courses into our curriculum? So just want you to know a couple things that have been created, we've been working with the faculty on, is we now have a cybersecurity program in our computer department, and then also within our history department that is partnering with cybersecurity. We have the availability of doing criminal justice. So just a couple programs. We are aware of the changing times in our world and we want to address those students' needs. So give those two majors a look and see what you think. Another question that came to us from your group was about our attendance policy. And the intention of the attendance policy was not to frustrate students or professors. So after hearing from you and some of our professors, I just want you to know that as a committee, we went back and looked at some of your concerns and we are trying to work to address those. The point of the policy was not to confuse students or to frustrate them, but to be sure that we had good class attendance. We heard your concerns and your requests. We have adjusted the program somewhat. What's important, though, is that you reach out to your professors when you're not going to be on campus and be sure that you've done a good job communicating. Also, we do not want to discourage you from doing your activities, but we want to teach you to be responsible so that you communicate and make arrangements. Please feel free if you need to reach out to my office if you have questions that you're not clear about, and let's see if we can't work on this together. The last part to that is there was not a pathway forward for students to make an appeal. The committee right now is working on the wording to let you know what your appeal process would be so that we're addressing the students' needs and being sure that you have what you need to move forward. So with all that, I've answered a couple of your questions. We hope you have a great Thanksgiving break and enjoy it.
All right. Okay, that's it. Yeah, I was getting mesmerized. All right. Okay. Hey, come in quietly. Shh. Thank you. Come in quietly. Take your seats. RAs, you can stop scanning now. What time is it? Yeah, we can stop scanning. We should all be here by now. Come on in. Thank you very much. All right. So you a lot of stuff to process out. Don't forget, on December 8th is our Six Flags excursion. It's from 4 to 10 in the evening. All right. And my office says that we have about 130 people that have paid. So that's how many tickets we're ordering. So if you're still in that IOU stage and stuff and you haven't seen me, talk to me right after this. But I'm going to order 130 tickets. And the parking is free. Parking is free at Six Flags for this event. So if you want to drive, that's on you. But we're going to get one, for sure, one bus and maybe two. Okay? You guys got that? All right. I'm going to see. Do we have any other questions? All right. Don't forget, no matter what your teachers have told you, Thanksgiving break does not start till the very last class period tomorrow. All right. Some of you guys are trying to sneak out today and all that, but you saw what Dr. Berkner put up there in terms of communicating with your teachers. All right, let's bow our heads. Let's have prayer. Yeah, we have an announcement. Come on. Oh, Zoya, thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, the president of the class of 2020.
Hello,
Southwestern. Is anyone feeling the Christmas spirit? Really? It's November. You guys should be in the Christmas spirit already. So for our first senior event, it's going to be December 7th. I don't know if you guys have seen any of the posters, but we're having a Christmas extravaganza, and we want you guys to come out with your ugly sweaters. The address is on the flyer. So all seniors, please come out and support. It's going to be fun. We're going to have tacos. We're going to have Thai food from the best Thai place in town. So please come out, support. We want to build a relationship with all of us, and we want us to be a family. Also, we want you guys to start RSVPing towards it. So on Monday, we're going to be in the cafeteria, and you guys can just come in, and you guys can sign up there. Next, December 2nd. Yeah, so when we come back. And we're also going to remind you guys next week, week after next Thursday. Yes. Good question. Good question. So it's this one is mainly just for seniors. So sadly. Sorry, guys, but all seniors, please come out. And the address is on the flyer.
Oh, wait. The seniors that are actually graduating. I'm gonna ask our president to have opening prayer for us.
Okay, please bow your heads and close your eyes. To Heavenly Father, we want to thank you so much for this day, dear God. We want to thank you for allowing us to come to a Christian university. We want to ask that as people are already traveling to go home and to go on mission trips and wherever they're going, we want to ask that you would give them traveling mercies, dear God. We want to ask that even those who are not leaving, we want to ask that someone will open their homes or open up someplace so that they can, so that they won't feel alone, dear God. Thank you for giving us to stay and help us to enjoy it. In your name I pray. Amen.
Thank you, Miss Zoe. Let's give Miss Zoe a hand. I'm going to ask, okay, we're going to get started. I'm going to ask Pastor Swoops if he could come up and introduce our speaker. Come on, Pastor Swoops. You can use this if you'd like.
All right, okay, I can read it. I saw who was coming today, and I said I have to come because I have to represent Annie Jacobs. She is amazing. She is a principal. I should probably read off of this. You're still principal, right? All right, principal / teacher / just amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is, I should read in Dean Tay's voice, but I can't mimic him. Still respect him too much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, XX and XY chromosomes. You guys know what that is? Biology, go strong, all right? May I have your attention, please? Our speaker today is unlike many others. She's extraordinary, all right? Unique and simply the best, but don't tell her what I said, Dean Tay, once again, his voice. This woman has many talents. She is a teacher by day and a ninja by night. I did not know that. Amazing, all right? But be careful because she can sneak her way into your heart. Oh, you're supposed to say, oh, you guys are not paying attention. All right. Another one of her many talents is that she may say is singing. Every day you are bound to catch her singing Veggie Tales or even conducting her own Disney musicals. You have to give us an example of that in a second, all right? However, the speaker has another passion, one that may surpass all others, and that is eating an unbelievable amount of ice daily from her personal ice machine. Is that true? She has a personal ice machine, all right? Yes, all right. Yet, one of her many talents, being on time is definitely not one of them. You guys did not hear that? All right. And although she may be late, you can count on her to be the life of the party. Speaking of a party, she is a queen. She is on God's team. Let's welcome to the stage Annie Marie Jacobs. I'll just add on top of that, as she's coming up, guys, please pay special attention to her. I know the message she has to share is going to be poignant, and it's also going to touch us. Thank you, Annie.
Thank you.
I'll take it. I wanted to give her double mics.
Okay, so that intro was actually written by my high school students. I told them I was coming here today, and I asked a couple of them to write an intro for me, and I told them I didn't want to hear it until they read it, so that was sweet. So Thanks to them. Thank you, Dean Tay, for inviting me here. This is so weird. Who knew that they would invite an ex-con back here? I'm sure that's someone's story, but it's not my story, don't worry. Yeah, so I'm back here at Southwestern. I'm kind of nervous. When I was here last year, because that's when I graduated, I was never nervous up here. Now it's like, oh my goodness, all these people are looking at me. But anyway, I'm here to tell you a story. Dean Tay told me that your theme this year is simplify. And I was like, Dean Tay, what does that mean? What am I supposed to say? And so he was like, tell your testimony. And I'm like, oh, I don't feel like my life is that exciting. But here we go. So this is a story all about how my life got. So I'd like to take a minute I'll tell you how it became me. All right, so I brought a couple giveaways, t-shirts. So for my first giveaway t-shirt, I have lived in all of these states except for one. So the first person that can stand up and tell me which one I haven't lived in, which is kind of difficult for you because you probably don't know me, gets the first shirt. So I have lived in Hawaii, Georgia, California, and Florida. Who wants to win a shirt? All right. So sorry. Oh, man. All right, so one more guess, because if we not, it'll be the process of elimination, and then you guys would all win. All right, so right here. Very good. Yay! I have not lived in California. Hopefully that fits. All right, so I am a military brat, an Army brat to be exact, and my father took our family everywhere. So I lived in Georgia, I lived in Hawaii, and I lived in Florida. Now, I lived in Hawaii for 7 years of my life. So fabulous. Okay, if you ever get a chance to go to Hawaii, do it. When I was in Hawaii, life was beautiful. Had my mom, had my dad, had an annoying little brother. You know, it's fine. He comes with the package deal, I guess. And so we were living there, and one day my dad is like, hey, we're moving again. And I'm like, whoa. Now, this time I was getting ready to go into middle school, so I was really feeling myself, finally established ground, you know. And he's like, yeah, we're not going to live in Hawaii anymore. We're going to Florida. Whoa. All the way across the world, like, what's in Florida? We don't even have, like, real family there, so what's the point? And he's like, I want to retire in Florida. So we moved to Florida, and shortly after we arrived there, we moved to Florida, I was angry, very, very angry. So I had written out a plan to get back to Hawaii. Okay, I'm gonna do my middle school years here like an obedient child, but when it's time for high school, I'm going to put my foot down, and they are going to send me to Hawaiian Mission Academy. It's a boarding school, and then I can live in Hawaii and set up my adult life. So I'd written that out in my little journal, and I was ready to go. Well, we got to Florida, and then this tragedy happened. All right, so I'm going to give away another shirt right now. If you can guess which of these, one of these four things actually happened to me. All right, our house was on fire, caught on fire. A hurricane took our house. My dog died. My mom died. Which one is it? Right here. You got it. All right. I know you guys don't want to clap, but he won something. You can clap. It's okay. All right, so my mom died. It had to be the worst thing that ever happened to me in my entire life, okay? My mom and I were like two peas in a pod, okay? It was the two girls against the two boys and everything in our household. And so cancer took my mother, and I just didn't know what to do. Here I am, an adolescent, middle school. Who's going to do my hair? Who's going to help me pick out my clothes? Most importantly, how are we going to eat? I had never seen my father cook a day in his life. And now, like, the main cook of the house is gone. Like, we are about to starve. And so we ended up not starving. Obviously, I'm here. But we definitely became very obese. Depression really hit all of us really hard. And because my father was not that great of a cook then, we went out to eat a lot. And there were a lot of moments where I just felt like, why me? Why did this happen to us? We just got here. We don't know anyone. Now I'm by myself. I'm the only girl. What do you want from me, God? Why did you do this to me? Why? There were many times where I felt like, why am I even existing? What's the point? Why even carry on? It was a very dark, dark place in my life. But God provided what I call my angel grandparents. So they're not my biological grandparents, but they stepped in. So my family, I come from a West Indian background. Any West Indians in here? Hey, okay. So most of my family lives in the islands, and my living grandparents lived in the islands, and so they stepped in and they picked us up from school every day, and they did all the great things grandparents do. They cooked. My granny cooked for us every other day and had a hot meal when we came home from school. She told me I shouldn't be playing football all the time and learn how to be a lady and things like that. So that opened up a door because now I had a new family that took the place, that stepped in for my mom. From having my angel grandparents, I received aunts and cousins and uncles and sisters and brothers and that whole thing. So that opened a new door. So here I am in Florida, and now I feel like I'm living a pretty good life, okay? Now, most people that know me know I live, breathe, and die everything Florida, okay? So now I've become like this Florida girl. So now I have to go back to my journal and I have to redo my plan, okay? So now I am in high school with my plan. My plan now, no more Hawaii. That's way too far, okay? I am now going to go to the University of Florida. I am going to become a teacher, and I am going to live in Florida forever. It's my plan. Got it all figured out. So now, in order for me to go to the University of Florida, the first thing I have to do is graduate from high school. No problem. Honor roll student, president of my class, school president, did all the things, played all the sports. Fantastic, right? Getting close to graduation, well, at the beginning of my senior year, I should say, my father looks at me and he says, hey, so your graduation is on Saturday morning at 8 a.m., and Saturday mornings at 8 a.m., I'm at church. So I won't be attending your graduation. What? Excuse me, sir, I feel like somewhere where having a kid contract comes in, you're supposed to attend their high school graduations. Like it's like one of those mandatory check boxes. And he's like, nope, it's my Sabbath, not going. And I'm like, are you serious? Like I only have one parent here. Who's gonna go? So I started praying about it, and I was telling one of my teachers in high school, and he said, hey, you should just write a petition. I'm like, write a petition? Now, let me give you some background. I was at a public school. My graduating class was 450 kids, okay? So this is quite the mountain to move in like September. And if you go to public school, you know that dates, they really don't change. So I'm like, start a petition? Okay, so I start a petition. And I need some evidence to convince the people, hey, I need you guys to change this day. Now, I don't really want to go up there and say, hey guys, I'm Adventist, so can you change the day because I'm Adventist? Yeah, a lot of people probably wouldn't go for that. They could care less. So I had to get my creative hat on, and I started thinking, okay, I'm in Florida. Florida in May is really rainy. Florida, most of the year is really rainy. But Florida in May is exceptionally rainy, especially in the morning, according to weatherchannel.com. So we don't want it to rain, because if it rains, we can't have our graduation on the football field. We have to have it in the gym. And if we have it in the gym, everybody has to have a ticket. And now all of your family can't come, only 4 people can come. So that was one thing. And then it was in Florida, you have counties versus districts, like Texas. And so most of the schools in the county graduated on the same day. Who does that, right? So I'm like, hey guys, don't you want to go to your friend's graduation? You can't go to it if it's on the same day. So little by little, people started signing my petition. So I got enough signatures, but now I had to go speak to the principal. Now, through this part, I am praying, and I started fasting. Now, as they said in the intro, I have a little addiction. Ice. I have a cup in the car for when we're done. I didn't bring it in because it'd be kind of rude to chew and talk, but it's pretty overwhelming. So I decided to give up ice during this period of trial. I was walking around like, hey guys, you want to sign this petition? Hey. Like, it was really bad. I didn't realize my addiction. Every time I walked past the freezer, I'd kind of, I'd drink drinks, and can I just have the one with no ice, please? Because when the ice touches my lips, it just makes me feel, and who knows what would happen. So it was a really, really tough experience for me, but I had to give up something that meant a lot because I needed to hear God's voice through this. And so I'm fasting and I'm praying, and I go to the principal and I'm like, so I have these signatures, and I was wondering if we could change the date of graduation to Friday at like 6 o'clock. And you know, in these months now, in the spring and summer, you know, the sun sets so much later, so this would be perfect. And he looked and he said, well, you did a lot of work here. I don't know, but I'll take it to the school board. I was like, really? Like, really, really? Like, for real, for real? And he's like, yeah, I'll take it to the school board. So long story short, he took it to the school board, and to this day, they still have graduation on Friday at 6 o'clock p.m. When I say that was like, whoa, okay. God, I appreciate that. We're on track. We're on the same plan. We're doing big things. Okay, so now my dad's going to graduation. I got my grades up. Now I just got to get into the University of Florida. Well, I did all of these teacher programs that were keep me on track to get me into the University of Florida, and so I can get into their education program. So now it's like April, everybody's getting their letters. I was so confident. I only applied to 3 colleges at that time. the University of Florida, the University of Florida, and then this one random university in Florida. And so I was like waiting. And then the letter came in the mail. Hey, family, gather around. Now, by this time, I'm going to throw in here, I have now a total of 4 brothers. I'm still the only girl, don't worry. So anyway, we gather around. Everybody's like, I'm the oldest, so it's like the big deal. I'm opening my letter, and it says, "We regret to inform you." And I was like, wait, hold on, wrong letter. This must be the other school. We regret. I could not believe it. I was devastated. I had my heart and soul set out to go to the University of Florida. How could they forsake me? God, what did I did all the things. We had an agreement here. We had a plan. They always tell you to plan things, and you plan things, and then I don't even understand. So now I have to regroup. Okay. I graduate high school. People go off to college. I need to go off to college. Okay. Where am I going to go? So I start applying frantically in April to all of these colleges. Who knows? And I get a friend request on MySpace. Anybody familiar? No? Okay, cool. All right, so let's just act like it's Instagram or something. I get a request from a long-lost friend of mine from Hawaii. And she's like, "Hey, girl, how you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, my goodness, we haven't talked in forever." And I'm like, "Where are you at now?" She's like, "I'm at Southwestern." I'm like, "What is a Southwestern?" And she's like, "It's in Texas." Who lives in Texas? Like, how did you even get there? And so anyway, we're catching up, and I'm like, "Okay, well, how do you like it?" She's like, "I love it. It's so awesome. You should totally come and visit me." I'm like, "Well, I'm probably never going to go to Texas, but sounds great." So she's like, "It'd be so fun if we were roommates and everything." And this was her freshman, she had just finished her freshman year. So I'm finishing my senior year of high school. And I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm never going to do it." So anyway, I told my dad, and he was like, "You should apply." And I'm like, So I applied there. I applied to Oakwood. I applied to Southern. I applied to some other public universities. And it's now summertime, and I have to make a decision. And my dad's like, "Hey, we're going to go on a road trip this summer." Cool. "Where are we going?" "Texas." "What?" He's like, "Yeah, we're going to go visit your uncle down in San Antonio." I'm like, "All right, cool." He's like, "You want to go by that university that's out there?" I'm like, "What university?" He's like, "Southwestern." "Oh, yeah." Okay, so no problem. We'll pass through there when we go there. Cool. So I call my friend. I'm like, "Hey, guess what? I'm coming to Texas." And she's like, "What?" So I come to Texas, and when I get here, it is hot. Okay, we got here in like June. It was so hot. And then she decided to take us on the tour because she was a recruiter now. And so we're taking this tour without a golf cart. So we're walking, and it's so hot, and I'm sweating. And this campus felt like it was like 5 times what it is right now. And we had just walked from the CAF to the old administration building. So it was just like, what? Anyway, so we take the tour, and we do all the things, and we're leaving. My dad's like, "So, what do you think?" I'm like, "It's all right." He's like, "You want to go here?" I was like, "Yeah, I guess. I don't really have a choice. It's June." Like, So he was like, All right, so I'm going to push pause here, and I'm going to give away another shirt. All right. This shirt is for the person who can tell me if I immediately came to Southwestern after that discussion? In the red. Oh man, I tricked you. No, I did. I came to Southwestern in the fall of 2006. And and I started here, and me and my friend, we became roommates. And listen, I did all the things, including get in trouble by Dean Janelle and Dean Ann constantly for being too loud in the dorm. But it's okay, I learned, and they let me be an RA. And then, like, Dean Tay recruited me to play sports, and I'm like, Dean Tay, I hate running. And he's like, it's fine, Annie. And then I was always the last one in basketball practice, running the laps, but it was fine. And I did volleyball, and then I did essay. Any essay people? Essay was my whole life, from sophomore, junior, and senior year. Essayed everything, so those videos were on point. So all the things. I absolutely loved my Southwestern experience, like, to the fullest. I don't know about you guys now, but when I was here, it was so great. I could talk about it forever and ever. So anyway, I did all the things, and I was having the time of my life, and I had so much of the time of my life, like my freshman year, that I failed college algebra twice. And don't tell my kids that, I'm a math teacher. And I was just living my best life, that when my senior year came, because I failed college algebra twice, like, I had some catching up to do. And my dad was like, I'm not paying for a fifth year. And I'm like, well, where am I supposed to get money? He's like, you figure it out. So I'm like, hey, I got to take some online courses. But I was also doing student teaching, which is like a full-time job. So life got really difficult really fast, and all those late nights and early mornings, because I was living my best life, not because I was studying. Don't do what I did. So all of that really caught up with me. So here I am, me and God. Hey, God, so I really have to graduate in May. How are we going to work this out? Don't worry, I got a plan. Okay, so I take my online courses, God. So I'm going to take my online courses. I'm going to graduate, and then I'm going to get this awesome teaching job in Florida, going back home because nobody likes Texas. I'm going back home to Florida, and I'm going to get a job at an awesome public school and give back to my community. And maybe in like 10 years, I'll be an assistant principal at an inner city school so that I can just make these kids great. Okay? You got that, God? Ready, break. Okay, so now I'm ready. Okay, so graduation comes. I made it. I walk across the stage. I say the speech. I get my diploma, best day ever. And then it's summer. So I start in the education program. They make you do interviews just to help you get a job because they're so caring. And so I did a couple of those interviews, but like, it's summer, right? School's done for real, for real, for real. Like, for real, for real. I have like my college degree. I'm done. So I'm like, hey, let's go on some trips. Let's live our best life. And, well, summer ends. Crazy. And everybody was like, oh yeah, I'm moving to Michigan with my new job. Hey, I'm moving to Tennessee for my new job. I got a job in Dallas. And I'm like, job thing, yeah, I should go apply somewhere. My dad's not gonna let me live here forever without a job. So I frantically started applying 2 places in Florida, and nobody's calling me back. And then one day my phone rings. And it's the school that I did my student teaching at here in Texas. It's a public school. And they're like, hey, got a job yet? I'm like, no. They're like, hey, you were so great as a student teacher. You want to come work here? Yes. All right, hey, just send me all your certifications and stuff, and we'll get it, and we'll get you in the interview. Okay. Get on my computer, I send him all the things. Calls me back. All right, so we got a problem. Yeah, one of your certifications you never took. What? No. I did all the things. I always do all the things. Even in my procrastination, I do all the things. He's like, yeah, no, one of them is missing. Okay, no problem. I'll just take the test. I can take the test. And so I look online, and he's like, okay, well, we're trying to hire by this date. And I look online, and the next time I can take the test is the day after. Right? I am like, okay, hold on. There has to be another way. And there was no other way. So now I'm back to the drawing board, and I'm applying, and I'm applying, and I'm applying. And I get another phone call. Hello? Hi. Is this Anne Marie? Yes. So you interviewed at our school back in April. Yes. We were wondering, we didn't hire you then. They didn't really say that, but that's what was going on in my head. But we wanted to know if you were still available. Yeah. Would you like to work here? Now, in my head, absolutely, yeah, I'll be there in a minute. Okay, but outward, you got to play it cool. Can I get a few days to think about it? And they're like, sure, give us a call back at your earliest convenience. Thank you. And then I get off the phone. Hey, Dad, I got a job. I got a job. Hey, I'm a real teacher now. And he's like, how do you know? I'm like, they just call me. That's how it works. And he's like, did you accept? No, I played it cool. Well, when are you going to accept before they give it away to somebody else? Oh, yeah, okay, I'll call them back. So I called them back, and they said, okay, well, send us all of your certification stuff. So I'm good now, guys. I send them all of my certification stuff, and they hire me. Now, here's another T-shirt time. Who wants to take a wild guess what city I worked in? Oh, I took that job in. Anybody? I'll give you a hint. It's in Texas. Yes, you in the yellow. What? Yes. Okay, so really she cheated. Okay. All right, so her sister went to school with me, so she kind of yeah. So she cheated. Yeah, you can give it to her. But don't worry, guys, I have more shirts. Don't worry. All right, so I took a job in Keene. Now, most people are like, where is Keene? Yeah, that's how I was too. Don't worry. If you know where Keene is, it's this big. And if you don't know where Keene is, it's because it's this big. So I go to Keene, and I'm like, all right, God. Supposed to be working in a public school. You got me in a private school. All right. I'm supposed to be doing third grade. I'm teaching 8th graders. I'm supposed to be in Florida. I'm in Texas. All right. It's fine. New plan. Don't worry. All right, so get back out my journal, and I start planning this out again. Okay, the Texas conference is nice enough that if you work for them, they pay for you to get your master's degree. Who says no to free? Right. So I was like, no problem. Here's the plan. I'll stay here, do my 4 years, get my free master's degree, but then I'm going to go back into public school, And I am going to work on being an assistant principal because that's my biggest goal in life, to be an assistant principal at a public school, in an inner city school, and I'm going to do great things. Right, so 4 years later, there's some rumors like, hey, now I had been a teacher for 2 years, and then I was an assistant principal for 2 years, so I was a little bit on the fast track, but it was okay because me and God had a conversation, and now if I was an assistant principal in private school, I can transfer that over into public school, and I could really be on my plan. So at the end of the 4 years, I'm like looking around, where am I gonna go work? And someone said, hey, you should apply to be the principal. Oh no, that's not in my plan. Okay, we're not doing that at all. So I prayed and I'm like, you know, God, people keep asking me this thing and I'm like, mm-mm. And so unless you come down here, put me in a corner and say, you're going to be the principal, I'm not being a principal. So if you've noticed the pattern of my life, I was literally in a corner when they told me I was going to be the principal. I wish I was lying to you, but it so happened that they had been looking for a principal for our school, and they didn't get the applicants that they were looking for, and my superintendent called me and said, hey, can you meet me at your school? And I was like, sure, no problem. And so I just happened to take the seat that was in the corner, and he was like, need you to be principal. Yeah, that's not for me. Yeah, no, I need you to be the principal. No, really, anybody else, not me. Okay, so your job for this coming school year is gonna be the principal. Okay, God, cool. All right, no problem. I'll be the principal then, since you backed me into a corner and all. And so I became the principal of the school. Now, fast forward, I've been there 10 years. I've been the principal for 5. And I'm looking back over my life. And when Dean Tay called me and told me to tell my testimony, I was thinking about all these things, and it seems like every single time I try to plan something, it goes the complete opposite. And as I'm thinking about it, I can only think every time I created a plan, it didn't work because it was just me. I wasn't thinking about asking God his opinion. I was just telling him mine. Everything was how I wanted it to unfold, how I saw the map, and how I thought I can get from point A to point B. I felt like it was the best route. Well, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Boy, listen, when the Bible starts, listen, there's some preachers in there. Your own understanding, yeah, we don't really understand as much as we think we do. Well, I'll speak for me. I don't really understand as much as I think I do. I thought my life would be better here or there, doing this or that. When I look back, I know I lost my mom at a very early age. And I often ask God why. But I learned so many lessons from that experience that I've been able to share with others. When I first got to the school I'm at now, I had a student, my very first year, had a student that was dealing with suicidal thoughts. I had a student that was dealing with a mother who had cancer. Both of those things I had already experienced. And I was able to be there for them and help them through it. Because of the mountains that I had to climb and the valleys that I had to go through, that God allowed me to go through. Lamentations 3:21-24, my favorite verses, says, "This I recall to my mind, therefore I have hope, that it's not your mercies that we're not consumed. Great is thy faithfulness." And I'm paraphrasing that because literally when I look back over my life, there are so many times when I failed that should have been it. There's so many times when I doubted God that he should have left me there. But it's because of his mercy that we get a brand new opportunity. And even when we plan our lives and try to go our own way, he allows us to do that, and he waits for us to allow him to guide us where we need to go. Jeremiah 29:11. "For I know the thoughts," anybody? "that I have for you, says the Lord. Thoughts of good," right? "Not of evil, to give you a future and a hope." Man, God has a plan for each one of our lives. Now, the plan he has for me, it's not over yet because I'm still alive. I'm learning now that I need to ask God what his plan is for me and not tell him what my plan is for him. Simply put, God's got it. That's it. God's got it. So if there's anything I hope that you take away from my not so exciting life, is that you trust God completely and remember that he's got it. Thank you. We'll close with a word of prayer. And after that, I'm going to give away 3 more shirts. Dear God, I thank you so very much for loving us. You don't have to. We don't deserve it, but you do. I thank you for being a patient God, that even in our own desires, you wait, and you're there for us. No matter how far we go, no matter how close we stay, you're there. And I thank you for that. God, I ask that you bless each and every student that's enrolled here at Southwestern. I ask that you bless their lives completely, that they become the successful men and women that you have created them to be, and that they help further your work so that you may come back quickly. We long to see the day where we get to meet you face to face, and we pray that we're all in that number. Thank you so much. We love you. In your name I pray. Amen. All right, so just quickly, random giveaways. If you can tell me the mascot of the University of Florida, I have a shirt for you. All right, right here in the red. All right, you come up, I'll give you one. All right, if you can tell me what city the University of Florida is located, I got a shirt for you. Who said that? Right there with the beard.